Rundown today is July 21st. It is brought to you by Lisa Mattress and Mattresses. $100 off the mattress. You get to keep this. Click on the coupon and get to keep it. $100. They're great mattresses. I think all of us pretty much use them. So Lisa Mattresses are the only mattress you want to buy if you sleep. Again, use that $100. Get to keep it. Doesn't matter if you use the coupon today, tomorrow. All right, into the rundown. This broke on Friday, kind of late Friday, because obviously for me this is a huge thing. It's a huge story, period. Kyrie Irving, Cavs demanding a trade. Who knows whether this will happen. LeBron has come out and said he won't interfere with it. I take the same stances every time I do this. I say this is obviously, why would you want to play with LeBron? Because LeBron takes all the credit when he wins, and when you lose, you get all the blame, so it's always Kyrie's fault. That's my take. I stand by it. I don't know why else you'd leave. Dan, do you think there's a LeBron issue, or more Kyrie just legitimately wants to be the star on a team?
I think it's Kyrie doesn't want to be left with a shitty team in a year that basically was molded for LeBron with a bunch of old players that all suck.
So you think LeBron's leaving?
Yeah. Well, whether LeBron's leaving or not, Kyrie basically is saying, I'm going to break up with you before you break up with me. Because why would he stay there and let LeBron do this? I'm doing 1-year contracts. I'm not telling anyone my future plans. I'm going to build everything around me right now, which might hurt us in the long run. Of course Kyrie should do this. Kyrie is acting under the exact rules that LeBron has made in the NBA, where star players get to decide where they go. So he's basically just pulling LeBron on LeBron before LeBron can.
But you think it's worth it for next year to just give up basically playing on a super team again?
Because he'll just get left out in the lurch. He's basically just saying, I'm going to decide this. I'm going to decide my destiny before you do it for me. Which I have no problem with. This is what LeBron has created an NBA for better or worse. I mean, I think it's fine. The NBA is as strong as it's ever been. But LeBron has made an NBA where star players get to decide where they want to go. And Chris Paul basically was like, I want to go to the Rockets. Get me to the Rockets. All these guys get to decide where they want to go. So
yeah, LeBron still deny that. The thing to me that's, now I think about it, a little weird, like Rick said, why wouldn't you just play one more year and then do the same?
Because he's gonna be left next year. If LeBron leaves, Kyrie's left with a terrible team.
Yeah, but can't he just do the same thing then? Just demand a trade then?
Yeah, I guess. I think there is an element of him wanting to be an alpha as well and thinking that he's the guy. There's obviously that element.
But to me, there's no way to interpret it other than it's a fuck you to LeBron James.
Well, I was listening to...
it's not a fuck you to LeBron if LeBron leaves and then he's like, okay, I want to be traded. It's then he's following the lead. Yeah. He can still get off it. Here, he's almost saying, to me, there's no other way for me to look at it than it just confirms everything I said about LeBron. This is a tough guy to play with, tough guy to be friends with, tough guy to share a locker room with. And he's like, you know what? Fuck this guy, because all the media does is suck his dick for the most part.
Which is hilarious because in terms of actual on the court, LeBron's the best player in the world to play with.
Right.
In terms of making your job easier and being able to defend the best guy on every other team. LeBron covers up everything that Kyrie can be the best Kyrie with LeBron, but just off the court. I would agree.
Well, that's the other thing too is then if LeBron leaves, then Kyrie's going to look like a way shittier player after LeBron leaves too. Right. So it's
I was listening. I didn't even know Stephen A. Smith has a radio show. It's just basically him just ranting into a mic. I was listening to it from Connecticut down to New York today. I think ESPN, whatever, New York.
That would make sense.
Yeah. He said that his source said that if LeBron saw Kyrie right now, he would beat his ass. Sources. Stephen A. Smith.
Also,
that was him just ranting. He was going I mean, credit to Stephen A. Smith. I listened for 20 minutes and I was like, wow, this is crazy. He probably just made the whole fucking thing up.
Not only that, there's nothing that's more, that is just not true. LeBron,
yeah, right.
LeBron would.
Of course it isn't, but it was so weird. He was just like, yeah, LeBron would have to hold himself back from beating Kyrie's ass.
I saw too, there's this thing that's breaking right now. Cole, you see this? The LeBron's, I think this is new, LeBron's stepfather,
the real Lambo?
The real Lambo just tweeted that thank you.
Ooh, look at
Shout
that.
out,
wow,
Viva
nice.
Duncan, is threatening to expose LeBron. He wrote a long thing on his Instagram page, like, you say I was bad to your wife or his mother. He dated his mother. He's like, you better shut your fake ass up because I'm gonna expose what the type of husband you have been to his wife. So it's getting, as to quote Nelly, it's getting hot in here.
Oh yeah. LeBron needs to get to LA with the banana boat crew.
Yes.
The boys, fast.
It's getting hot in here.
What was your take on the thing?
I love it from Kyrie. He sees like John Wall getting this super
Right.
max. He sees all these other guys getting these huge deals. If he's not putting up like all NBA type numbers, if he's not one of those top 6 guys, he's not going to get that type of money. So he's like, fuck it, let me go play for the Knicks. I can jack 1,000 shots. And
Do you think the element of him wanting to leave before LeBron leaves him?
yeah, I mean, I think he sees the writing on the wall. It's
Yeah.
like literally all anyone's talked about this summer is like, oh, LeBron's going to leave next
But
summer.
it's such bullshit that LeBron like won't commit more than 1 year. I mean, I get it, like more power to you, but it just kind of fucks everyone else.
Well,
up.
yeah, and it's exactly what you said. It's like if you're just sitting there, Kyrie, it's like, fuck this guy.
Yeah.
Like, you only do one, you're like,
Yeah.
you're going to talk to me, you're going to do everything on your own? Fuck you, I'm leaving.
Right, like if you want to commit to this, let's build for the future and actually build a team that can win the East for the next 5-6 years. But he's like, no, every year LeBron's gonna maybe go back to Miami or maybe go to LA or maybe go to.
And you get the feeling every decision LeBron makes, like Kyrie has no idea what's being
Right.
Like,
Oh,
it's
none. None of them do.
So that would drive me nuts at some
Yeah.
point. It's like, dude, you can't win without. Like, are you going to include me at any level on any of this?
Yeah,
so it's a fuck you.
I would
also-
love to see his text to like Kevin Love though. LeBron being like, "You steal my dog." Even though like Kevin Love has been like rumored to be traded for the last 3 years straight.
All right, moving on. British Open. Got our golf guy, foreplay rigs. Great tournament, good for golf. This seems like a part of my
Great for
take thing,
golf.
by the way.
Great
Do you guys do this? The good for
What?
golf?
Well, no, we're course fans, so not happy about this. We root for the course.
I was more like
Yeah.
using the.
Yeah.
We were talking about. For me,
The face of the game, like
good.
Aaron
It
Judge.
doesn't matter
Good
who.
for golf.
If somebody remotely well known is on the final day
Mm-hmm.
in contention, if a young guy is in contention, everything's good for golf.
Yeah.
Like golf, nothing gets golf guys off more than saying
Yeah,
something's
good
good,
for
for golf.
That's
Grow
smart.
grow the game.
Grow the game.
That's
good
smart.
for
You
golf.
got to plant that in people's heads. Like,
But
this is good for golf. This is
every
good for golf.
tournament
This
is
is good for
something
golf.
that's
This is
good for golf. Is
You also
happening
get. I
good
saw
for golf.
you got the same mentions yesterday when you were tweeting about it. The golf hardos. They're like, "Oh, what do you watch golf 4 times a year?"
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's actually. That's
Well,
exactly
yeah,
what I
and,
do.
and, there's,
Like, I
and that's
really- I do
actually
that, yeah.
golf in a lot of ways wants you to like watch
Yeah,
their
right,
major
like, that's
events
what I
and they
do.
want them to be
There
dramatic.
is
Hand
no, you know what's very for golf, ungolf was that nut tap that Jordan Spieth. I'm surprised golf people like condone that. That seemed like behavior.
Especially in England.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean
that did seem very not good for golf.
that whole squad's been able to kind of get away with whatever since they did their little spring break thing. Everyone's like, oh, they're like the cool young hip guys. I guess that's what cool young
Would you
hip guys
post that
do
on?
is tap each
Would
other.
you
Yeah,
post that
that's
on
what-
foreplay Instagram?
I was just
Probably
saying
not.
that
And
nuts.
everyone's tapping each other's
Okay.
nuts.
Yeah, okay.
Next thing you know, you get run over by golf carts.
There's a big difference between a golf cart and fucking tapping
Don't want to
somebody's
set
nuts.
the wrong. Who's
This is
that?
slippery slope.
Yeah, who is that? That other podcast we don't mention. They probably would freak out about this nut tap. Like we gotta not put. Did
Yeah.
we get in trouble for putting that on social? The nut tap.
People
should've.
are very pro nut tap. People love the nut
that's-
tap.
That
It is
is
a slippery
problematic.
slope.
A little hypocritical.
I mean, you guys are making fun of it, but
There's
yesterday
no
was
honor in nut tap.
Yeah.
yesterday. Everything
It's
that
grade
happened was
school
awesome
shit.
for golf. It was exciting. It
good
was
for
like
golf.
it was
Yeah, great for
one of the
golf.
young
It was
dudes.
good.
It was good for golf.
It was fantastic. And if you're like a casual golf fan at all, you were captivated by the whole thing. So that's why we say good for golf.
Do you think Jordan Spieth fucked Cooch over with that 45 minutes of looking for his
He
goddamn
took
Yes,
ball?
but I don't think it was intentional.
Gotta blow the whistle, right? Is there a whistle?
Hurt the guy.
Something.
He used rules to his advantage to kind of relax. He made an unbelievable
That was
5.
fucked.
It's big time fuck.
Definitely didn't help Cooch, but I mean that's
The only thing is
like that's how it works.
It's not like Cooch fell apart. Why we call him Cooch?
That
Cooch.
was why people got mad at me because I was like, "What? These announcers calling him Cooch is kind of weird." And they're like, "New to golf." They
Yeah.
call him Cooch all the time. I'm like, I don't fucking care.
Disappointing flight. Cooch's wife flew across country to surprise him to show up if he won. Then she's just there.
Blame him?
What's that?
Does he blame her?
Well, that's the only thing about the end of it. It's like Spieth clearly won it because he
Yeah,
went
he was
nuts as
right.
opposed to Kuchar falling apart. The other thing is golf, which is the sprint to an errant golf ball. It's just
The
a
best.
bizarro thing.
The best.
I have the clip of the rules official who's like late to the scrum, and he's running through high grass, tall grass, bushes. He looked like he was a human Terminator with a little placard throwing people out of the way in the pile.
That first guy who finds the ball is like looks like he won the mega bucks.
That's weird.
Gets his hands up. Right here.
We were talking about when we
insane.
were in Augusta. That was the famous like caddy eyes Frankie Borelli. He would see a ball go over your head out of nowhere. Nobody's been paying attention. Sprints to it. First guy there. We're all jacked up. We tell everybody about this cool shot we saw, and literally they didn't show it on TV. Like nothing. We thought it was the greatest shot of all
in
time.
real moment
You
too.
just
You
get really
guys love
jacked
it.
up.
You guys, it's the golf crowd. I tell you, when I went to the Masters, 50% of the crowds were in golf shoes.
Yeah.
With the spikes.
Yeah, and his
You
gloves.
feel like you're like part of the action. It's
Yeah.
almost, I don't know, you feel like you're, those guys that get right next to the golf ball, feel like you're basically like touching Tom Brady's arm when he throws a touchdown. So that's kind of why people get checked up.
It's crazy.
So
You're right
Jordan
there.
Spieth, is he charismatic enough to be the face of golf?
He's not charismatic at all. Well, that nut tap.
Well,
but
He chugged that
Nut-Tap
beer
gets you up
too
there.
after.
he did.
He
He apologized to Cooch for taking 45 minutes. I'm
He's
sure that was-
charismatic. He's
I'm
charismatic
sure
in the
that's a
sense-
nice little consolation prize.
He's
Sorry
charismatic.
for fucking winning
You guys
this.
both double teaming here. Relax.
We're talking golf here. Come on.
He's charismatic in the sense
Talking
that they
golf is
mic
good
him
for
up.
golf.
They mic him up, and he kind of like mutters to his golf ball nonstop, and the golf people love that.
Who?
He's Spieth.
Spieth
So,
mutters
yeah.
to his golf ball.
Yeah, like every time he hits it, he's like, hit it, win, sit, and he's like, people
That's
love
good for
that.
golf.
Does
For
he
golf,
swear?
that's huge.
Does he swear?
He's not a big swear guy. He's
Oh,
a big
we need
like
that.
fake.
We need the Tiger. You know, we do
Tiger
that.
go, you suck,
Yeah,
Tiger,
you
all the time.
Tiger.
He's charismatic enough, like more so than some of the other guys. So yeah, I think
For golf. That's good
Great
for
for
golf.
golf.
Charismatic guys are good for golf.
Finally, golf has
23 years
found
old.
its next guy.
Yeah. Great
Feel
for
good.
golf.
Feel
for
good
golf.
about that. Where's Rory, by the way?
seems very
He's dead.
sarcastic. Rory
That's good
finished
for
like
golf.
top 5.
I feel like Rory has
That's
Rory
good,
does-
that's good for golf.
Yeah, it's great for golf.
Rory does a lot of backdoor like top 10s and top 5s. So
Oh, so like he sucks,
But
and then
stuff.
all of a sudden on the Sunday he's just like, I'm gonna sneak in here,
Basically,
and
exactly.
everyone will think I'm good for
he
golf.
shoots like 4 or 5 under on Sunday, and everyone sneaks right in there.
All right, this rundown is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You have the link below, dollarshaveclub.com/Barstool. For limited time, new members get first month of their executive razor with a tube of their Dr. Carver shave butter for only $5 with free shipping. After that, it's just a few bucks a month. Cancel anytime. Dollar Shave Club, great razors, on the road razors. So sign up. Click on the link, Dollar Shave Club. Limited time, first month, executive razor, Dr. Carver shave butter, only $5. Do it. Click on it. I actually need to shave, so get Dollar Shave Club. All right, back to the stories, guys. All right, so the story's a little bit weird. He owes child support, back payments of like 65 grand, 70 grand. He hasn't paid it yet, I guess. He was owed it. Turns out the child is not his, but he still owes the money because he didn't officially find out or contest. So he's letting it go through, was not paying, and now they're saying you're gonna go to jail if you don't pay what you owe back, even though the kid is not his.
He, his wife, and the ex-girlfriend he broke up with 16 years ago all agreed he should get a DNA test, and he did.
Well, the results came in and I'm not the father.
But that's not the end of the case, not even close. Cornejo's ex still wants the money, and so does the state of Texas. In 2003, Cornejo's ex-girlfriend went to court and said Cornejo was the only possible father. The state of Texas got what's called a default judgment and started assessing child support payments, which continue to add up, now totaling nearly $65,000. Cornejo says he was never told. Court records suggest, but don't prove, he got a subpoena way back when, and he denies it. Lawyers for the mother of the child suggest support was taken from Cornejo's paycheck long ago and Cornejo never fought it. That can be enough to establish a Loctite claim that Cornejo should have dealt with this long ago.
It's a weird story, but I don't know the way around it because I'm thinking it's like, well, if he doesn't pay it, what's a mother just not get any money?
This was a terrifying story to read because it was like this could happen to anybody. 'Cause it was kind
But
of
does it? If someone says, hey, that's your kid, you immediately throw the challenge flag.
But the problem was that it's like a combination of. It sounds like it was like a combination of procrastination and kind of being like, I don't think that's my kid, and we all procrastinate. So I just feel like this could easily
You don't
happen.
procrastinate
No,
on that. That's
and
not
right.
like that's
But
not
I-
like, oh, I have to fucking take out the
But
trash.
it sounded like he didn't know. Like he was under the impression, like, oh yeah, once we prove this isn't my kid, like I'm good. He wasn't under the impression that this can back up for like 3 years and I have to pay it, even though it's not my
But you
kid.
throw the challenge flag instantly.
You don't even have to see the replays.
So you
It's
just
just like
and you also like, you probably have an idea if you were in a situation where you have to throw the challenge flag.
Yep.
Like this isn't. You know that there's maybe a catch along the sideline with the person you're dating.
right. And it's like clock management. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
the clock's running out. I'm not going to use my challenge.
Right.
It's like, I have one. I might as well use it or lose it. I better
Right.
fucking throw the challenge.
I thought it was like, to me, it was like he knew from the beginning, like, no, that's not my kid. Like, what are you talking about? Finally did the official challenge flag analogy, if that's what we're doing, with the DNA test.
You don't
And
procrastinate.
3 years later, or whatever, it was like,
And
wait,
again,
what?
even
Like
if
that?
you don't know the rules, you don't challenge. You call the ref over after you threw the thing. Be like, what are the rules on this one?
Right. How are we shaking this one up? It sucks the situation he's in now, but he has no one to blame but himself.
Nobody. I think this is maybe a GoFundMe if I was going to give this guy a situation like, yo,
Yeah.
I'm about to go to jail if I don't pay this woman $70,000 for a kid that's not even my fucking kid.
Just
Internet.
goes through the
That's
roof.
the one thing I think the internet helps at.
Yeah.
I think you'd have sympathetic people. The money granted goes to this woman. Now, I don't know if the woman knew it wasn't his, because why want the woman? Like, what happens if this is just a broke dude? You're just out of luck? Like, I'm not saying this guy.
I think
Like,
you
so
have to go
she
to
theoretically
jail.
would get nothing. No, he would. But what?
But yeah, she would be.
You have to go to jail if you don't pay your
Yeah,
child
that's
support.
what, he
Yeah.
still is going to go to jail if he doesn't. That's what the story said. But if she knew it was, say, some broke dude's kid, and you're going to get no money because you can't afford it, whether she intentionally was like, yo, it's yours, and kind of swindled this guy, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to pull a little switch.
Right,
and
because
I'm gonna go after the
there's
guy
no
with the
money to be had from a broke person.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
bottom line, like having kids sucks. Just always sucks.
Speaking
Just
of
know
that,
it's your kid.
Segue. KFC, you notice, still on his never-ending paternity leave. I will say I'm a man of honor and integrity. His paternity leave does not look like fun. I don't know if you've caught wind of some of the stuff going on at the Clancy household, but
No.
he's got one kid who's got some sort of like pneumonia type thing that he's got to keep separated from Fat Face, which KFC 2. I actually publicly apologizing to Kevin because he tweeted out a picture of KFC 2, and I thought something was like KFC 2 got stung by a bee because KFC 2 was making. He was
A
making.
5-day-old got stung by a
He was making fun of how
You don't
fat.
let him outside.
Right,
He was
he's
making
like playing in the woods.
He was making fun of how fat KFC 2's face was. So I thought something
Babies
was
are weird like that. Their brains are
Yeah,
all
and
like
I made-
mushy and shit.
I said, like, what is that with smiley emojis? Oh, I see the picture. It's on that. Look at that face over there on that. I mean, it's ridiculous. So I made fun of it, but if that's actually how KFC 2 looks, then I take it back.
I feel bad for everyone else on the internet because Kevin has been ruthless. That guy he went after,
Yeah.
Oh, he's
the
in a
Pringle
bad mood. He
thing,
went after me for no.
he was just fucking. The minute it started, I was like, this guy's got to just delete his account because he doesn't realize Kevin's dealing with like Armageddon at his house. He's the only thing he can fight is this guy on the other side of the country building fake Pringle things, and like Kevin was like ready to die with that, fighting that guy.
I thought paternity leave was boondoggle. It doesn't look. I bet he wants to come to work.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
Kevin, like his first day back, he'll be here at like 6 a.m.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
ready to rock.
It's a back to your point. I think what the KFCs are going through is a ring endorsement why kids are just not worth it. So shout out to KFC. Lavar Ball, this clip, amazing Lavar Ball clip. He walks his AAU team off the court because he's unhappy about foul calls. They just pack their shit up and leave.
Feel that jump on. There you go, jump on. It's not a foul. It's not a foul. It's not a foul. He came way over here to call that bullshit. I don't need your ass playing like that. Hey, let's go.
Lavar Ball is and he's coaching in slippers. What do we got on our boy here, Lavar Ball?
Yeah, I'm all in on this guy now. I kind of hated him at first. It was really annoying. This move, just especially when you're winning, and to just take his team off, protesting probably some average fucking call, all rattled, the flip-flops. I love this dude now. I'm all in on him. He's hilarious. He makes me laugh pretty much every time. His kids are clowns, but, I mean, I just think it's kind of a whole circus. I used to hate him. Now I like him.
I was against this move when I read the headline, like who the fuck takes their ball and goes home. but the way his team reacted, those guys all will fucking die for LaVar Ball.
That's the thing. They
so it's
love
like,
him.
you know
Like,
what?
they love
He's
playing for him.
coach, whatever coach says. If they just pause for a second and be like, he's being an asshole, he's making by himself. He didn't even say anything. He's just like, let's go. And everyone just picked up their shit and left. Which that probably means that it's happened like every other game.
Yeah,
Now that I'm saying it out
like, oh,
loud,
here we go.
That's like a usual thing.
Coach is pissed.
We
leaving.
just leave in the third quarter.
I don't love the move, and I'm the reverse. I love Ball, but this move, everything he does to me is about him and his kids and an act and the shoes. This, it's sort of like when, it's very different, but when Tex like fake forfeited that basketball game, it's like you have a whole gym full of fucking people, you have another team. I don't know. When you're affecting way more.
You're affecting other people, right?
Yeah, I didn't love the move.
I think had kind of like what Dan was saying, had the kids sat there and been like kind of like moping or I don't know what we're gonna do here. The fact they just followed him like to the end of the
ready
earth
to go.
was like I like that. There's something about that dude in the locker room what he says to those kids
But
where they're
still,
like we fucking love this.
These
guy.
are like kids, and it's like if there's another team, who knows where they.
Oh, there's
like,
brainwashing going on.
Yeah,
It's fine.
and the other team like drove or can't. It's like I'd be so pissed. It's like, dude, I'm trying to play fucking.
Well, no, it's
basketball.
playoffs, so they got to advance, and they were down, so they probably were happy.
Yeah,
they're
but
jacked
in a
up.
weird way, like, are you really advancing if everybody knows that's how you advanced?
True.
Last one, Trump. Who's the new secretary name? Secretary.
It's like Marisucci.
This
Kuki?
clip,
I think it's Skarkakuki.
like Trump,
hard name.
don't
What's his
like
name?
Trump. Saramucci.
Sparamucci. Is that what it is?
Sarmucci.
Skarkakuki.
Scaramucci.
What's the guy's
Sarmucci.
name?
Scaramucci.
Somebody.
Scaramucci.
Scaramucci.
I love the clip. Again, you have people, you can always tell who will just be on one side of the aisle no matter what, based on how they react from certain things. If you didn't think this clip was funny or like, I kind of respect it, then you have an agenda.
Here's what I tell you about the president. He's the most competitive person I've ever met. Okay, I've seen this guy throw a dead spiral through a tire. I've seen him at Madison Square Garden with a top coat on. He's standing in the key and he's hitting foul shots and swishing them, okay? He sinks 3-foot putts. I don't see this guy as a guy that's ever under siege. This is a very, very competitive person. Obviously, there's a lot of incoming that comes into the White House, but the president's a winner, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to do a lot of winning.
Because to be up there in a real political conference, be like, what do you say? He once saw Donald Trump throw a football through like a tire. He once saw him shoot free throws in like a top hat or
trench
something.
coat.
A trench coat at Madison
And
Street.
it is the Mr. Perfect clip.
It's on top.
It's like you see the Mr. Perfect clip. He throws the basketball and then he throws a football.
It's everything.
And he's just like,
And
this
then
is me. I'm Mr. Perfect.
He makes 3-foot putts.
I mean, you don't want a guy that can't do all that shit. Basically, like if that's going to be your guy, if that's your leader, that's a guy going into the meetings. You want the guy that can do that shit, not the guy that can't. So
I got a problem with this guy though, because he follows like 160,000 people.
Ooh, I don't like those guys.
Bad luck.
There's
Bad
nothing
luck.
more alarming in the world than both Instagram, social, people with the big followers who have the same exact number of followers.
Yes.
And like the follows, you know?
Yes.
So because then they're
Yes.
just baiting people. They follow you to get the follow.
Joey Batista.
Yeah.
Joey Batista follows a million people.
he's kind of had a couple weird social things pop up too, where he was like praising Obama like 4 years ago. People were pulling up those clips.
I saw a clip where he like challenged Trump to a fight.
I don't like the way he talks about women. I don't like the way he talks about our friend Megyn Kelly. And you know what? The politicians don't want to go at Trump because he's got a big mouth and he's afraid he's going to light him up on Fox News and all these other places. But I'm not a politician. Bring it.
All right, so why is he resonating?
You're an inherited money dude from Queens County. Bring it, Donald.
You're close to Walker, right?
Okay.
Do you think
You're
Walker
an
will
inherited money dude from Queens County.
Do you think Walker?
Yeah, so
the new guy?
Yeah, the new guy.
Then he goes deep.
This guy should be president.
He's kind of all over the place.
He said, in full transparency, I'm deleting some of my old tweets, which isn't really what full transparency is.
I like this guy.
Yeah. Kooky.
And then he always has the upper hand. I told you I was going to delete it.
Yeah, right.
It's like, well,
Yeah.
all right.
Right. He's perfect.
So he's got this whole history, and then as soon as Trump hires him, he's like, "Well, I've seen Trump throw footballs.
Yeah,
I've seen him hit 3-footers. He's fucking great."
Right.
So he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he does. Very good. That's a rundown. Obviously, the big news today, throughout the day, and since the weekend, which if we want to talk about, we've talked about a bunch, obviously, already, is Nate steamrolling young page views and then standing over him and taunting him and being like, I told you I wasn't playing with you, son, as he's like circling him like a tiger. And YP is like, no, sir, no more.
Put his hand in his pocket at one point.
The cup flip was the best part in my mind.
Yeah, it was.
The behind the back.
Flip that thing.
It was weird. It was a slow Friday in the office.
Were you down there with us?
I wasn't down there. I was up
okay.
here for the aftermath.
Yeah, I was explaining The Office. The Office got a little loopy because it was like
Yes.
And then it
just like a
sounded
whittled
like
down
you
pack
guys
of
watched
dogs.
this thing like 1,000 times.
Oh, we watched it, and then we would watch it, and then one more person would come over and be like, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
We'll be
yeah.
like, okay, well, I'll watch it again.
Time froze when I saw this the first time. Like I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever seen.
It was incredible. The Office was
This
loopy.
place
It
is just
flipped
fucking
upside down. In
Someone's
a
gonna
heartbeat.
die. Someone's gonna die in
Well,
this place.
it is. People ask what would happen to a young Page Hughes like threw a punch after. It's like you can't. It ended at the perfect time for that clip to end. Like that's too much violence, but it's the perfect amount for it to be like here.
Well, here's a hypothetical because Francis actually came up to me after and he's like, if Nate punched someone, would he get fired? And I was like, probably not.
No, Nate can punch, I think.
Right,
But you
right,
can't
and
punch Nate.
right. And I said,
Right,
but, and
right.
then
You
I said,
can't
but
punch
if you
Nate.
You cannot
punch,
punch Nate.
No,
right,
but
and
Nate
I was
can
like,
punch.
Francis, if you punch someone, you're gonna get fired. And he was like, that's not fair. I was like, but Francis, remember you did like threaten us all with a bomb 3 days
And
ago.
Nate's
You didn't
too-
get fired.
right, and Francis
so there's
too-
like it's all
right.
kind of floating.
It's just feel.
Right,
Like,
I couldn't
Francis-
punch someone, right.
Francis is too big to be like
Right.
punching somebody. But Nate, that scrappy little guy, doing stuff. I mean, even I just saw Smith come out of the bathroom. I'm like, you didn't do anything. He was dead serious. He's like, you didn't see his eyes.
Yeah.
Like you didn't see Nate's eyes. And Francis, he's like, he could have had
That was
weapons.
straight like Kanye when he attacked TMZ. It's like he just fucking flipped the switch.
Yeah, I
I'm
think if
I'm
Nate
out.
punches you, you're in tough shape. You're fucked. What can you do?
Yeah, it's and he's very mild mannered. He's back. You know, the dog, the DAWG part of it. He's gone back. He's the green guy. The Incredible Hulk.
We thought he was on drugs on Friday. You saw him in the morning.
From the second he walked in.
Yeah,
on
like
Friday, it was
I had Nate Dogg all over me. I had Spider Monkey just like in my fucking the back of my shirt. I was like this from the minute I walked in that morning, and it didn't
Unbelievable
stop.
clip. Unbelievable clip. So we have the full breakdown of this will be the director's cut of Stool Scenes. That'll be coming out. I'm excited to watch it because again, that clip, I was just saying, I had tears in my eyes. I watched it like 100 times in a row.
And there's so many different parts to it. All of Nate's, all the
reactions.
reactions, the
man.
build up to
Oh,
it,
and
even how
YP.
Nate flipped the whole script.
Yep.
Those guys were going down like we're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
embarrass Nate. Nate buries.
Nobody knew what happened. Everyone
We had
just got-
YP triggered
text,
real
how about
bad.
text?
What's that?
We had YP triggered afterwards.
Oh, I can imagine.
Because we kept on telling him there wasn't a box there because Dana didn't get the box. So we're like, what are you talking about? There wasn't a box.
He's mentioned the word box 100,000 times.
He took
I
a-
said when I watched it, I said I thought YP may quit. I'm like, I don't know. You may have to just leave. It's like you just go, you get up off the ground,
You get truck sticked.
drive home, pack your bags, and leave and never be seen
He
again.
went
Like
down
weird
taking
haircut
up
Seth.
He went down taking pictures like it was a crime scene too of the box to prove that it was.
Oh,
there
he was
afterwards. Like, oh, there it
rattled.
is.
It's way
But-
too long gone after that.
There's no box when you're on the ground with your hands up. And you're like, no, Nate, no. Like that is no box involved. That's just
Who would have
pure
thought?
fear.
That's tough.
PFT said it correctly. Nate is Terry Tate, office linebacker. He's just rolling over people.
Oh, what a company. So
It's- I mean, someone's gonna lose their mind.
Good for Nate Dogg.
This is definitely a pressure cooker to the
yeah,
point where-
I don't even know. Nate's mind's like off the reservation.
Well,
I don't know.
I was saying that I can't remember who I was explaining what was happening to, and they're like, we have maybe like 6 mentally stable employees at this point. And I was like, yeah, that's probably that's probably an overestimation. Like just think about it. Nate rammed over YP. Francis threatened us all with a bomb. Tex is just like ready to fight anyone at any time.
Was the Nate trucking a YP like the peak of what you envisioned with all your fantasy factory stuff?
I could have never envisioned that type of like scene. Do you see? I did a blog of the reaction.
Oh, yeah.
Your reaction.
Oh yeah,
has
because
to
I
be
was
a
just
gift.
like,
It's just like you just,
I was like, I'm good.
You just
'Cause
shipped
I
out.
didn't know-
It's like when Homer
Yeah.
Simpson disappears back into the bushes. It's
Yeah.
like you just
because
like,
I didn't. The whole setup was that we were gonna go stand behind Nate and film the stool scenes cut, and YP had already done it twice, and I guess Nate was really pissed the first 2 times, but I missed it. So I thought we were going down there to like a pretty normal Nate, And when when Nate Dogg came out of his cage, I was just like, okay, this is not what I expected.
It's literally like a bull. It's like opening, he just came right. You can tell.
Yeah, you just opened the cage, just.
Everybody knew too.
Yeah.
Like the second it came out, everybody's face like, oh no.
You even saw Tex in the background, like trying to figure out where to go. He goes up the
Tex is like
stairs.
nervously holding his
Where did I
penis,
go?
like a weirdo, like only Tex can do.
Literally like that
weirdo.
entire crew. The second Nate came out, he must have had fire in his eyes.
Yeah.
That's what Smitty said.
I told
Everyone
you.
knew right away, like,
Oh, God.
It was a weird. It was seriously like the last day of school vibe, where it was just there was probably 6 of us here. Everyone in that video was here, and it was just like a wild pack of dogs that we were just kind of roaming around. And we fucking we found a fucking black bear that had been sleeping for like 9 months.
It's like the scene in fucking Bronx Tale when he locks. He's like, now you can't leave.
Yeah,
and all the bikers like, that's like what it was when he came out. It's like we just walked into some shit.
Yeah.
Now you just can't leave.
And fucking the dog took him out. What a day. What
man.
a fucking thing. All
Very
right.
weird.
So watch that tonight. It'll be out tonight. YP, by the way, can hear it all. He's not laughing. He's over there.
Oh no, he's very much.
No, he's fine.
Still,
He's fine.
Everything's good.
he played hockey, so I thought he'd be able to stand.
He went down like a flower. Like
No box in that video.
Buried.
no, just
No
boom.
box.
On the
If you say that to
No,
him,
I
he gets
mean,
mad.
Sean gave me the mic. I'm completely fine. I got steamrolled. It's a great clip. It was the hardest I've seen Dave laugh at anything since I've been here.
It was very funny.
And I'll also say, make sure you watch the episode tonight. The truth will set you free. I'm alive again. It's great. I appreciate
It was very funny. I mean, yeah, it was a gift from the gods on that Friday. I was showing people I didn't even know. I was out. Be like, you got to watch this fucking clip.
pal.
People didn't even know who any of the characters were. Like, this is awesome.
Also, it's so funny because we were like, we're not like, let's, when we had the conversation, Nate was like, I got shit going on. I was like, all right, let's not, put this in. And it was like, let's not send it out to anyone. And Coley's like, all I sent it to was Gaz. And we're like, okay, never mind. Like, it's over. It's over. Like, that's it.
All I sent
That's
it to
it.
Gaz.
Yeah.
Final last
It's-
words.
Yeah. Just might as well just send it to you with like a big like caps.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, Dave,
And-
watch immediately.
I was literally next to him when he got it. He was reading it
Yeah,
out
of
loud.
course.
He's like, Coley sending clip says don't show to Dave.
Yeah, right.
I was like, my
there's
eyes
no
like
chance.
saucers.
Gaz's only job is to show you everything.
Right.
That's literally his only job.
I was standing next to YP, and I got a text to me from Frankie, who's like, I just
Oh,
got this from Dave.
it went down
I
the
just
chain.
got this from
It
Dave.
went down the
Fired it
chain.
off.
Like, what is going on?
Quickly. I had the fastest like Twitter thumb. I was just like, oh my God. Yeah. All right.
Great.
There you go.